Welcome back and thank you for keeping it NTV. You are still watching NTV Weekend Edition and this is Talk of the Nation. Now, the Civil Aviation Authority has moved to act firmly to end an extortion scam at the airport. It follows reports that some immigration officials extort money from travelers, some of whom have been made to miss their flights or part with money and property to be able to continue. Now, to help us understand what is exactly happening at the airport, we have the Director General of the Civil Aviation Authority, Fred Bamwesije. Good evening, sir, and welcome to Talk of the Nation.
Good evening, and good evening, viewers. Thank you very much for inviting me here to continue to explain this matter of extortion in our aviation and to be able to call upon the public to continue to give us legitimate concerns about the difficulties in traveling, especially extortion, on any of the desks that operate at our airport, to be able to completely eradicate these extortions and any other inconveniences to our traveling public.
Well, based on the preamble you've just given, it shows that you're actually aware that this has been happening, but would like to hear from you. How did you discover that there was rot happening?
Yes, we actually in the day-to-day work of the day-to-day work environment in the airport, many of those things happen. And for your information, let me tell you that the airport, though managed by us in aviation, Uganda Civil Aviation Authority, under the airport operations, we have quite a lot of agencies that operate there. We have immigration, we have security agencies, 7 of them. We have airlines, we have ground handling agencies. Now recently, because of the pandemics, we also have the Ministry of Health and now labor desk. So all those are operating at the airport. And although the airport is operated principally by
the Civil Aviation Authority,
each of those agencies have their own mandates in the airport. And we have been trying to harmonize them all the time.
So these agencies, when a traveler is at the airport, goes through each and every office of these?
Yes, each and every desk. So now what we did since 2 days ago, we have actually harmonized all our activities to make them one. That what is spoken on one desk, how the passenger is handled, is the same. And we have increased the level of supervision to make sure that at every point, a passenger and the person handling them are being seen by a second eye of a supervisor. And that supervisor will be an operations officer, someone employed by the Civil Aviation Authority at every point. And the good thing, we are happy that most of these agencies have also come and agreed. You saw yesterday the director of immigration was at the airport also speaking the same language. And the measures that we have put in place are all agreed by all the agencies.
Okay, then we just want to know the people that are affected. Is it those that are arriving into the country or those that are leaving? Because we are meant to understand that the most affected also are the first-time travelers. You find that this person does not even have, know their way around the airport, and they are left to ask even a support staff for direction. So you find that the Civil Aviation Authority probably underscored in the area of communication in terms of maybe putting a front desk to see that some of these people are guided. And because of their desperation, because they don't know their way around, that is how they are extorted. So I would like you first of all to highlight who are the ones that are affected. Are they the ones that are arriving or leaving? Or it is general?
No, mainly the people who are departing the airport, actually. Because, as you said, quite a number of them do not know their way around the airport. Others are, first of all, the airport environment itself. It is intimidating if you have never traveled. You know that.
Yes, very well.
And although we have been trying to guide them, we have largely left. We had not been so much concerned about how different desks are dealing with them in a more person-to-person way, the way we have agreed now. Because we thought that although we are having the overall supervision, we leave the agencies to do their mandates in a very, very, very little interference. We don't interfere as much. Mind you,
Because you expect them to operate professionally.
professionally, yes. And we've been actually thinking, of course, even some of our own staff, as you could have seen, we incorporate a lot for resistance security. Many of the people in the airport, actually, in our ranks, are also borrowed, if you want, seconded from other agencies. Therefore, and we don't go there just to second for the sake of it. One second because we assume that they had some level of understanding of these activities, so that we simply harmonize the actions.
Okay.
So the problem is that once they reach there, then others start getting their own way. But it is becoming extremely risky to involve yourself in those areas of extortion. And we want to thank those who have brought up those legitimate concerns and have been able to tell us, even with evidence. And I can tell you that in the last 3 months, not just yesterday, we have disciplined 24 people. Others have been even terminated. In the last 2 days, we have arrested so far now 2. To this morning, actually, we arrested a 3rd one.
So that is some of the call to action that you
Yes.
have taken.
Yes,
So what
yes.
other measures have you put in place to see that this vice is actually dealt with?
Yes, now when you are in the airport, an airport worker, whether from an airline, whether an immigration officer, whether a handling person in those operational areas, we are not going to allow you to have a phone during the working time. I know many people are likely to come back to challenge this, but because of our resolve to completely do away with this vice, we are going to leave only phones to supervisors who are accountable. And those ones we are able to monitor at every point with our CCTV. 2, we have agreed that nobody is going to stop anyone with legitimate papers all the way up to when the time of boarding, unless they have express permission of the general manager of the airport and the director of airports. That one will not be allowed. The matter will be escalated to those levels. 3, we have given additional contacts of senior people for anyone who will be inconvenienced. You see, it is not about money, extortion of money. Even inconvenience alone. Someone has come, have his papers, and you are just making them to wait.
Some of them just want to show that they are working.
Yes, yes.
To show that
yes,
they know
are big or something like
exactly.
that. So we don't also, and by the way, those are the most common. Those are the most common. The extortions are probably
Minimal.
20%.
Really?
Yes, the other
But
one is
with the noise that has been
just,
going around.
of course, when you part with
Money.
value, that's really the concern. But if someone just sits there, he doesn't attend to you, or he's just on WhatsApp, that alone, because that is paid time, that's passengers' time, that's clients' time. So you can't, even that one will be looking at it. And we want to make it so risky. And viewers, please be on alert and give these legitimate information and concerns. We'll together handle this matter without, it is not an extremely complicated matter. We've been doing it, but maybe not coming with these stringent measures.
Yes, because I was going to say that these contacts have actually been around, and maybe because of I don't want to say the laissez-faire law around the Civil Aviation Authority. That is why some of these people are operating in an impunitive way, because, I mean, at the end of the day, they are going to extort money from you and walk away with an attitude of what are you going to do? So how are you going to deal with that?
We are talking about those phones. We have not been having phones of senior people. We've been having telephone calls of people on desks, on
Super.
operations officers on duty, sometimes really not, and general phones. But now these are phones going to specific people, specific
The phone numbers.
responsible, yes, phone numbers, going specific phone numbers going to specific senior people, not, and who knows, if need be, we'll even appoint specific people to be there purposely for that. And that is, I can see that coming, because we are totally following this, how successful it will be, and we increase that stringency as time goes on.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Bamwesi Jeffred, the Director General of the Civil Aviation Authority, getting to share their stand as the Civil Aviation Authority, and also to clear the air, as well as give some of the measures to see to it that this vice comes to an end, because the reports or the noise has been a lot, and of course hearing from him, that is exactly what they will be doing. Thank you so much for joining us. We take a break and return with NTV Weekend.